Hi everyone, look what I have here. Upcrate sent me another box for me to share with you guys, and it's the box number 31. I must say it's pretty heavy, so I'm very curious to see what's inside this one. Oh my goodness. I hear the sound of pencils. It's time for art! Alright, there is a coupon for HelloFresh, or 60 euros off HelloFresh. We have some absolutely adorable stickers here. I wonder if there's colored pencils in there. Again? Really? I don't mind, I love colored pencils. Or watercolor and graphite pencils. And maybe a bold fine liner. So the co-captain is Julia Orlova from the Netherlands. Here's her information. It's really cute. I'm gonna look at this later. I just want to know what's in here. Weird supplies inside. That's kind of ominous. I don't know. Let's see. What's in there? I'm not looking. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, I love this. The Ecoline Brush Pen. This one is in black. Oh my goodness, there's more than one. Oh, look at those pretty colors. There's a yellow ochre, a pastel yellow, and a turquoise blue. So we've got 4 of them. That's really nice. I like this palette. Oh, very nice. All right, what else? Oh, we've got paint. Van Gogh watercolors, so I was right with that too. Dang, that's a lot of stuff. We've got a turquoise green, a yellow ochre, and indigo. What else do we have? Dang, still more. We have a graphite pencil. We've got a Micron 10, and I think it's in black. So nice and thick. That's the thick fine liner that I was mentioning here, although this probably could be part of it. We've got a very interesting little bottle here. It's called Brush X, Extinguishing Solution for Brush Pen and Ink. That's the Upcrate edition. I've never heard of Brush X. And what the heck does extinguishing mean? Oh, it says to read instructions on their website, so I shall do that. Okay, Brush X removes non-permanent inks on paper. Oh, Brush X can be overpainted after drying. Oh, that's exciting. It's like a liquid ink eraser. Whoo, that's gonna be fun trying it out. All right, there's more. There's so much stuff in here today. We've got a Vinci brush. It's a synthetic brush, and that's a 6 flat. It has matte paint on it. It's interesting because often the barrels of brushes are shiny. It's a short handle. There's a pamphlet here that I'm sure will explain everything. So this is a craft brush, but the bristles seem really nice. All right. With all this comes the Art Space, I'm guessing, watercolor journal. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Feels like it's 140 pounds. It feels like it's cold press on one side and hot press on the other side of the paper. Nice. All right, let's check out the zine. It's always a thick zine and there's always so much interesting information in it. Oh, that's such cool artwork. Very creative, I love it. There's some info about the Brush X and how to use it, as well as the Ecoline Brush Pens, color charts. I just want to see what kind of paper we have. I like that they always put the color charts and all the information about the supplies in their zine. So 10 sheets of 230 grams, which is not quite 140 pounds, but it's still pretty thick. It's definitely not 90 pounds. Probably maybe 110, but it doesn't say anything about it besides that. That's interesting. A bit about the co-captain. The co-captain's tips. These are the winners of the Upcrate battle from the box number 28, number 29, and here's this month's Upcrate battle topic. It's miraculous creatures. That's going to definitely put me out of my comfort zone, but I'll see what I can do. So if you participate before the 27th of April, you can post your drawing on social media. You put the hashtag Upcrate battle, and you could win 15 Talents Ecoline Brush Pens. Pretty cool. Ooh, it's time to try all this. Look at this. That's so much stuff in one little box. As I started playing with the markers, I realized right away that some of them feathered a lot on the paper, especially the more juicy ones, like the black and the yellow ochre. So I was a bit nervous about using this paper with the supplies just because of that. And also when I added some water to my swatches, they didn't really move. They were almost water resistant. I think that's because of the paper. I think it absorbs the ink and the watercolor very easily and very fast. Everything dries out very fast. So this paper is not the best one for the markers, that's for sure. So another way you can use the markers is by making a swatch or applying pigment on a ceramic palette or a plastic palette or any non-porous surface, really. And you can pick up the pigment with a wet brush and then apply it just like watercolor on the paper. That worked much better, but again, the paper really absorbed it very quickly, and so the colors didn't stay very bright. Definitely not as bright as when you use the marker straight on the paper. The ink from the Micron pen did not feather at all, which was very good news. However, the tip is pretty big, it's a 10, so you can't really use it for details. When I tested out the watercolor, I had the same thing happening as with the markers. The paint really sunk in really fast, so the colors didn't stay very bright, and it was hard to keep my washes wet. Plus the brush is a craft brush, so it doesn't hold a lot of water, so I had to reload it very often. I really like the indigo color and the yellow ochre. They look very pretty. I like the color of the turquoise green as well, but the consistency of that paint was very strange. I don't know if it's a defective tube or what, but it felt like it was mostly binder with a tiny bit of pigment. It was not creamy, it was more like watery, gooey. I don't know how to explain. It was not fun to use, and the pigments were just struggling to actually show up. Again, because the paper absorbs the water or the moisture very fast, it seemed to me like the wet on wet technique would not work very well. The pigment doesn't spread as much as I'd like it to, but it does somewhat. Now, I really like the range of colors that I got from mixing the watercolors together. They look very pretty. The mixes I made with the markers are very pretty as well, but they're very faint because I picked them up with a brush from my palette rather than applying them straight away onto the paper. And then it was time to try the Brush X. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. It works very, very well. I didn't have to add many layers or anything. As soon as that liquid touched the paper, it erased everything, which was really cool. Well, actually not everything. I found out that it works great with the Ecoline brushes, but it doesn't do anything to the watercolor or the micron ink. But oh, the possibilities with this magic bottle. I had a lot of fun testing it out, trying all different techniques. So after my test, I was a bit reluctant using the paper for a painting. I did it anyway because it's part of the challenge. And with all those pretty blues and greens, I thought I'd paint an underwater scene, and right away a sea turtle came to mind. So that's what I did. I started by wetting the paper and using that beautiful turquoise marker. And then I sprinkled some Brush X to make some little bubbly effects. It looked really cool. I really liked that. But as the marker dried, it got really, really pale. I used a pencil to sketch my turtle, and it's really nice pencil. 2B works great, just like a graphite pencil. And because the colors get a bit dull on this paper when they dry, I thought that I would paint them on the white paper, so I used the Brush X liquid again to erase all the blue from the background from my turtle. And I must say, that was the coolest thing. It's just like an eraser. I don't know what this liquid's made out of. I had some on my fingers and kind of smells like bleach, but if it was really bleach, maybe there is some diluted, but I would think that watercolor and any other ink would come off as well. So I'm not quite sure what the blend is. So once my turtle was a clean slate again, I started adding colors, and I didn't go straight on it with the brush. But again, because the colors dry so fast on this paper, it leaves blotchy marks, so it just really got me frustrated. So at that point, I decided to just go very loose and go with the flow, no pun intended, and just added the colors and tried to play and have fun. And in the end, I think that's what this challenge is all about anyway. So I mixed colors, the markers together, the watercolors together, the markers and the watercolors together. Try to add some texture and some different colors to my turtle to make it stand out a bit. I used the Brush X again with a finer brush this time to add some details. And then I wanted to see if I could make some indigo flow around the turtle, just to add another dimension to my painting. It worked to a certain extent, but it ended up adding a thicker indigo line around my turtle, so then I decided to use the fine liner to kind of make it stand out more, the turtle, not the indigo line. And yeah, that's about it. I tried to add more sprinkles with the Brush X, and it only worked on the areas with the ink from the brush pens, obviously. Since the last layers on the shell were actual watercolors, I used a brush with just water and sprinkled that on it to add a few splashes on it. And that's about it. It's definitely not a perfect painting, but I was able to overcome the difficulties of using those supplies with a paper that was not the best for them. And in the end, it's really not too bad. But I didn't want to stop there. I just wanted to try them with another watercolor paper, something that's a little bit better. It's not the expensive Arch paper, for instance, but it's better quality. Actually, I think that the journal that we got in the box is most likely for mixed media rather than watercolor. But anyways, I wanted to do a collab with my daughter. I haven't done one in quite a while, and she's quite the artist. So I gave her the theme, and she drew a sketch on the paper, and then I colored it. Now, she drew the sketch on this journal, so I ended up transferring it to the other watercolor paper with tracing paper, and then I painted it. If you're interested, I recommend you check out her Instagram account. She does a lot of fun stuff, whether it's traditional art or digital art, and sometimes it's just fun and real quick sketches, and sometimes it's way more elaborate drawings that she spends hours upon hours to fine-tune. You know, funny enough, but I still had a hard time on the other watercolor paper. I think that the watercolor that I usually use is more pigmented, it's more an artist grade, but maybe more accurately, because I use so much indigo for the background, it was hard to make any color stand out over it. That said, the paint worked a lot nicer on this paper. The drying time was longer and I was able to really work the colors the way I wanted them. So in the end, this was a great project. And I really like the shark turtles. Okay, I'm done talking for today. If you're not familiar with Upcrate, it's a monthly art supplies subscription box. So each time you receive a box of mystery supplies, which is a lot of fun to receive in the mail and open. There's always a challenge. You don't have to do it, but there's always a challenge to draw something with all the supplies from the box. And this box is actually quite cheap. It's 22 euros if you subscribe month to month, which is about 25 bucks, and it's free shipping worldwide. So with a box like this one, for instance, you'll see you getting a lot of supplies for not that much money, really. And I find it a lot of fun to try new things and try to deal with the problems you encounter and adjust your techniques to make it work. I think it's a nice learning experience. I've always enjoyed art supply subscription boxes. So if you want to check it out, you can always use the coupon that I'm going to put in the description box below to get 15% off your first box and see if you like it. That's a pretty good deal. And no, I'm not making any money off of it. I'm not an affiliate. I'd only received this box for free. Okay, I'm really done for good this time. Thank you all for stopping by. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.